Hi, I'm Adam from the National Bottle Museum at 76 Milton Avenue in Ballston Spa, New York. At the museum, we're dedicated to the preserving of the history and researching on antique bottles, modern bottles, and the glass industry in general in the United States. Oftentimes, someone will come in the door and say, I found this bottle in my yard, and can you tell me anything about it? And that's what we can do. We can actually tell you a little bit of the history. In this particular case, it's a Sanssouci Spring bottle from Ballston Spa. But if we look at some of the manufacturing marks on the base of it, we can determine that this bottle was made by Thatcher Glass Company in Elmira in 1957. So that's just one example. Popular Coke bottles embossed with Albany on the base. But if we look at the manufacturer's mark, which is Owens, Illinois, and that's the numbers 12 and 47, I can tell you that that was made in Plant 12 in 1947 in Indiana. Some other machine-made bottles have just a little more innocent markings, a square with an O and a rough circle around the base of the bottle. That's an early machine-made bottle by the Owens Glass Company. Owens was one of the first manufacturers, was the first company to introduce machine-made bottles. Bottles prior to that were all hand-blown. It means we actually had to use lung power and a blowpipe to actually inflate the glass bottle. And there was a lot of labor involved. A lot of people were involved in making glass. This is a later hand-blown bottle. We know it's pre-World War I, though, because it's purple. The purple color comes from manganese that was added to the glass batch in order to make clear glass. After a long period of exposure to the sun's rays, the glass actually turns a beautiful amethyst purple color. Earlier bottles can still be dated to some degree. Some actually have a date. This particular one has a date of 1882. That narrows it down pretty well. This bottle has a stopper that was patented in 1877. So we get these little visual clues, even though there might not always be a date on the bottle, as to how it was manufactured, when it was manufactured. We have two Saratoga mineral water bottles here. Both are from the Congress Spring in Saratoga. Saratoga was a major producer of spring water in the 1800s. And a bottle in a bottling industry and a place to actually manufacture the bottles existed too as well. This early one, dark olive green color, we know by its color that it was made in the hills of Saratoga County in a little town called Mount Pleasant around 1864. Its later variant has a bright, vibrant emerald green color. Based on that color, we know that this one was made in Saratoga Springs, New York, at a glass plant called the Congressville Glass Works. We have at the Bottle Museum a display called Glass Factory Mountain that actually chronicles the development of these glass factories in the region, the people behind them, and what it took to make a bottle in the 1840s through the 1880s. Some very early bottles give us some clues as well. This large amber bottle has a scar on the base called a pontil scar. This smaller bottle as well has a deep scar. A pontil rod was actually used to stick to the bottle so that the glass blower could do the finishing operations, such as applying the lip of the bottle. There are later versions of graphite pontils, but we can at least use clues like this to tell us exactly when or nearly when a bottle was produced. But there are imposters. This one has an open pontil scar. It's a hand-blown bottle. It's hand-finished, yet it was made in Williamsburg, Virginia around the year 2000, but it was made using early techniques. This is a reproduction that's made to look like an 1840s to 1870s whiskey bottle. These also were made in large numbers as reproductions, and some of them are very easy to tell from the original. Others are a little bit more tricky and take a very trained eye to tell the difference between the real thing and the reproduction. At the museum, we do have a great resource library to help us and our visitors do research on bottles, manufacturing, and the glass industry. And we also have displays throughout the museum about manufacture, about the people, and about what it takes to make a bottle. We hope you'll come by and visit us.